Hello guys, I was procrastinating a lot to do this job, but finally time has come, and what we have today is the job to replace the bushings for the rear trailing arm on Sienna. It's gonna be the same, I guess, for 2001 up to 2019 Sienna, same process, and we're gonna go step by step through it. You can see the bushings are torn everywhere, and the shape of the bushing is quite unorthodox. So you won't be able to use your regular bushing removal tool or pressing tool to install or to remove this bushing. So yeah, it's gonna take some finagling to do that. And while you guys haven't been watching, I cheated a little and I sprayed a lot of WD-40 on all of the parts I think it needs to be removed or unscrewed. So this is the brake line for the passenger side, so the fitting for the brake line, same thing for the driver's side. Sprayed WD-40 on it too. This is the cable for the handbrake, and I sprayed WD-40 here too on the bracket, same thing on the passenger side. And the most interesting challenge I think we'll have when we're gonna try to remove this section of the exhaust, because we're gonna need to lower the trailing arm lower, kind of to get to those bushings. And while theoretically I think it's possibly doable without removing this section of the exhaust, I guess it's gonna be easier if we won't have this obstruction on our way. So let me lower the car first. I'm gonna remove the wheels from both sides. I guess you don't need to see that, it's fairly basic and standard procedure, and then we'll continue. Just remove the wheels and I installed this support to the front of the car, because I assume it's possible it will have a lot of rocking action, up and down or whatever gonna be happening in the rear part of the car. So we have some extra protection from tipping over the vehicle, because it sits pretty high from the ground. As the first order of operations, I would like to remove this brace that's partially blocking us the access to the main bolt that holds this bushing or actually trailing arm in place, and bushing as well, to that matter. Same thing on the driver's side, same brace, same bolt, and then we'll see. That's a 12mm bolts. And this is the driver's side. We probably gonna need a miracle to undo those flange bolts for the exhaust, but why don't we give it a try? You still here, guys? think no chance. No chance in here. Probably. I decided to leave this connection alone and get to this connection, which is towards the front of the car, and I sprayed some WD-40 and let's make some fire. It's always cool to look at the fire, right? Sparks or fire, something like from that nature. I'm trying to hit the nut, not the bolt. So when the nut will expand from the temperature, hopefully the bolt will not expand at the same rate as the nut, which may give us, there we go, a little bit of smoke. Woo! And now I'm gonna tighten it back as well. Kinda. Alright, now back again. It won't shoot, right? This is, I guess it's freaking warm. Ouch, hot. One. Ouch, hot. Alright, so at that point I will spray some lubricant in here and all other connections where the exhaust is hanging to, and I'll try to remove the whole exhaust from here back to the tailpipe as one piece, thus avoiding disconnecting this middle section from the rear piece. So let's see how it's gonna work out. Let's add some penetrant to both sides. That. said, I do not have like a thing, like a tool for exhaust hanger removal, because it would be very handy right now. It's actually not too bad when you use the penetrant. I'll repeat the same thing from the other side. Okay, it's very easy actually, even without the screwdriver. Alright, exhaust is released here. Let's proceed to the back of the car. Alright, we are to the rear side of the exhaust. Let's see if we can skip. No, probably I'm gonna need maybe even some better tool than the screwdriver. What about this hook? Yeah, looks like it's working. While you weren't looking, I released the tailpipe, same thing on the tailpipe, so it would give me a little bit more freedom to rock this hanger back and forth. Alright, as you can see, it's removed. Let me slightly lower what's holding us. And the second side, the driver's side, is still holding us. Guys, I'm gonna transfer to the driver's side now. Alright, that's the driver's side. Alright, let's just slide out even without the tools. So, is there anything else holding us or not? The rear, the tailpipe portion is not. Alright, tailpipe is released. The whole thing is wobbling. I think the whole exhaust is released. Just need to I will slowly lower the whole thing. Looks like so far it's in balance. It's not tipping to left or right. So it looks like we successfully skipped the part where we cut this connection. Maybe we need to put a sports exhaust on Sienna while we have a chance. Interesting, how heavy is it? Can I lift it alone, like the whole thing? Alright, it's not too bad. It's slightly awkward, but not too bad. Now let's undo the bracket for the parking brake cable. Hopefully it's gonna let. Alright, that's a success. Now the bracket for the driver's side. And on the next step I'm gonna undo the brake lines. I decided to undo the upper one because in general it's in better condition than the lower one, and I think I got the better chances to unscrew the nut without damaging the line. Maybe not. Oh, I could be wrong. Oh, wow. All right. Wow. And I don't want to strip the nut. Wow. Do you know if you can use some heat on something like that? Or you're gonna damage something? It shouldn't take a lot. There you go. A little bit of heat goes a long way. Let's see if we can first use some pliers, and yes, we can. Now we're gonna need to remove this line, and I'll try to find the matching size plug for the line. Let's see if this size is gonna fit. Okay, it's not bad. At least it's not dripping dramatically. And now I'm gonna do the same thing on the passenger side. That's the passenger side. I think we need to, yeah, it's pretty tight. So let's try to do the same trick. Okay, guys. Sorry. Let's try to do the same trick. Okay. I don't want to go too crazy with the heat. It's probably not enough, at least not yet. What about now? All right. 2 out of 2. Guys, I think it's a success. Let me put a drip pen. Oh. Okay, it's disconnected now. And let's try to remove this retainer. It's slightly on the rusty side. All right, removed. Remove this hose. Hose removed. Put the cap on. Okay, cap is on. Looks like the trailing arm is disconnected, at least for our needs. As the next step, I would like to attempt to remove the springs from both sides, and for that I got this kind of tool. And let me check where I can fit it between like what leaves of the springs. And the spring is slightly crooked. What I'm not sure if I will install the leaf just here, or actually the tool just here is going to be enough motion to compress the spring. Watch your eyes, guys. It still didn't, compress it as much as I wanted to. So what I'm gonna do right now, I will undo the nut holding the shock, and it's gonna let the trailing arm to lower itself even more, and maybe that's gonna be enough to give us some additional room. Like right now there is the tension from the spring, so I'll need a stand, jack stand, whatever stand, to kind of release some pressure. What's the best? And that's why I put this extra stand to the front of the car, actually. Alright, I can see it's moving. And now I'll release the stand and it may release. Okay, it's moving. I guess it's time for a breaker bar, because it's still not enough. And I kind of don't feel comfortable compressing the spring even more, kinda don't feel comfortable. I'm not sure how. Almost out. Whew. And I'm kind of in this danger zone here. Oh, yeah. Oh. Very scary stuff, to be honest. Let's try to repeat the same thing on the driver's side. And install the tool, I guess. There are not too much choices where to install this tool. Looks like it's going right in here. Now I'm gonna put a stand under here again. You guys probably can feel that installing the whole thing back is gonna be even more fun. Than removal. Not sure where is the safest place. Okay, right now the trailing arm actually went down all the way, and even more than we need. So what I will do, is it heavy? It's fairly heavy, but not as heavy So I would like to actually put it back so the shocks hold it from here. And I'm gonna put the nut back on if I'll find it. The nut goes back on. Just a few threads. Repeat the same procedure on the passenger side. Guys, let's transfer to the passenger side. I think you can see something. Maybe I'm strong enough, just like that. I think that right now is a time to put the stand under the trailing arm here, somewhere in the center, and to undo those bolts. So you cannot see, but there is the nut on the other side, and actually there is a way to get to this nut with the wrench. So I think possibly we can skip the step to remove this liner and to remove this mud guard, whatever it is, and we'll be able to undo the bolt. I was able to fit 19mm wrench on the nut in the back of this bolt, and this is actually also 19mm bolt. So let's try to undo it. Okay, the bolt is moving, the nut is undone. Now take a look, it's pretty beefy nut, I would say. Alright, so how is the bolt? Okay, probably gonna need some persuasion to come out, but we now can move to the driver's side and do the same thing. Let me try to put a wrench on the nut. Okay. Okay, the nut is on the wrench. Yeah, pretty beefy nut again. And let's check out. Looks like the bolt coming out. Ooh, we're hanging. And I'm gonna remove the bolt from the other side. Ooh. Okay, so the whole thing kind of shifting itself back. So let me lower it some. Sketchy stuff. And maybe even some more to have more room. Okay, how are ABS sensor wiring looks like is okay. Okay, it's getting pretty tight actually. Well, let me release the ABS wiring brackets. Brackets or bracket is released on one side. And it's free on the other side. So as you can see, because of its shape, the normal regular bearing or bushing removal tool will not work, because while we can find the race that will match the diameter of the inner kind of sleeve or whatever it calls of the bushing, we have nothing to hold on the other side, or we cannot put another adapter over this bushing, because the bushing is such a weird form or shape. So there is the tool, and I think I purchased the correct one in order to remove this old bushing. So this is the set of tools and different adapters that I hope will work for our case. And as the first order of operations, we need to find the good, I think that's the correct one. So this will work as the how to call sleeve, probably like a sleeve pusher, and I'm gonna need to put a nut on the other side. If I'll find the nut, I'm not sure if I can borrow any of those nuts or how it works. Alright, so this sleeve looks like it's slightly smaller diameter than the outer trailing arm ring, so it should fairly easily push out from here. Let me tighten this nut in the back. So once again, that thing goes throughout and it's been held with a nut. It looks like it does not need to be super tight, it just needs to hold in place. Maybe hand tight is enough. And for the next part, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I'm gonna figure out it along together with you guys. It looks like I think I have an idea how it works. So this is another tool in this tool set. Looks like a half of the cylinder, and it's got this like a ridge here, the edge, the ridge, whatever you want to call it. So looks like this edge is getting right here behind like right here, like there is the let me see, there is a little notch here in between of this part and this part. So this, it's freaking heavy and my hand is sore. So when I put it like that, it grabs this kind of ridge and it sits there, but we cannot leave it just like that. It won't work. I can probably put some tension onto it so it kind of sits in place. I don't think we can use it as it is. And it looks like there is the freaking giant holder. Can you see it? And I think somehow I need to slide it over, maybe. Yes or no? Or how it works? No? Hold a second. Or no? Can we slide it over now? Or maybe, hold on guys, maybe it's the wrong order of operations. I put this thing here first, then I slide this thing, and now I kind of tighten it, I think. I see it pretty much for the first time as well, so not sure if this is the correct way to install it. Bear with me, guys. Guys, you probably couldn't see anything. I was trying to show you. Is it okay? Looks like it's at least 15 16ths works. So I think the idea of this big tool is to hold this half cylinder while we're using it to push the bearing, the bushing out, I think. So looks like this holder is holding another holder, and we'll try to, what the size is, like 18, 19. It's either gonna work or it won't. kind of sits crooked. I don't like it. I am really not sure what I'm doing. Well, it looks like that's not right, because the tool is not being held. It's loud. Okay, can we confirm the edge there? No, it's not grabbing. Huh. Let me move you guys a little bit. It's kind of tries to grab, but it's not grabbing. You can see the scars. There is a slightly smaller adapter, yeah, but it won't work. So somehow we need to stick to our plan with this adapter. Just don't know how yet. Another try. I'm not sure if it's gonna do anything, but let me maybe add some penetrating coil. It's getting tight. But it's not slipping, at least, but it's getting tight. I think I need a bigger wrench. My decommissioned torque wrench is slightly bigger in size. Guys, it's going. Whoa. It's working, it's going. Hopefully the camera is recording. I'm not sure if I can use the how it goes, the power tools here. Hopefully it won't break the tool. It's gonna kill my battery. Ooh, it's getting hot. I'm gonna spray some more WD-40 inside somewhere there. Whew. Okay, the battery is blinking. All right, looks like it's more or less clean, and we'll find out together how to install the replacement bushing. That's the replacement bushing. Based on the bushing on the other side, like right there, this is the approximate orientation. Actually, the good idea to orientation is the bushing on the other side got this like upper thing pointed exactly on the upper edge of the trailing arm, so we're gonna use it as the reference. I think should be good enough, huh? All right, so what this set is offering us is this weird shape thing that I suspect should be put over the bushing, and I don't like how it sits in there, but hopefully it's gonna work fine for our purpose. We'll check it out in a moment. I think that's this is the way to install it. What about the bigger one? Yeah, this one. Looks like the bigger is the way to go. Nearly slightly slides over the trailing arm. Assuming the trailing arm wouldn't be so rusty. Okay, it literally sits on the top, and now we can simply unscrew those two nuts, making sure we're still aiming correctly. Somehow like that. And what's the size? We need a deeper socket. I think this is looks like it's going. Let me verify the orientation. Looks to be more or less precise, I think. If not, we have a tool to remove it, right? Yeah. It goes right in. I think I can put some penetrating oil in this hole. It could make the things slightly easier. Oh. I'm still curious why they designed this bushing in such a weird shape. That's it. Let me show you guys. It sits flush. It can go any further than that. Alright, let's remove the tool. Whoops! Ta-da! Oh. And yes, that thing, the upper thing points toward the upper thing on the trailing arm. Let me show you. Right here. Can you see it? This points right onto the trailing arm. Same thing as on the untouched driver's side. So now it's time to repeat the whole procedure on the other side. While I am preparing the tools, I will add the penetrating coil into this hole, which may help us out a little bit. And like everywhere. It definitely won't harm. Okay, and we'll assemble the whole thing again. And we start with dropping the nut. Alright, let's put this one here. I'm curious if this is the correct size or no. What about this one? Is it too big? You know, this one is... Yeah, actually this one is better. Yeah, because it goes into the kind of into the groove. So yeah, regardless, the thing on the other side worked well. Oh, it's bigger thread. So let's put a bigger nut. Okay, now the big part. Making sure it grabs. And it doesn't. Maybe like that. Okay. Looks like it's biting. Is it? I guess it's biting. Don't go anywhere. Install this holder. Install this holder. Can I do it from this side? Okay, 15/16. Again, making sure it's biting. Okay, and let's see. Decommissioned torque wrench, and yeah, there we go. Okay. Can't see anything yet. Okay, so do you see anything? Hey, looks like it's coming out. Looks like we are experienced now. Did it from the first time. How we doing there? All right, perfect. By the way, guys, in case any of you are curious, this is the part number for those bushings. And that's definitely not like the easiest DIY project, but it's also not the hardest one. Oh, and we even didn't scratch this side. And again, I'm gonna clean the rust from the inside and we'll install the new bushing. The new bushing being inserted. The upper thing is being pointed to the subframe. Alright, we have this sleeve from here, we have this here, and we have this here. Now we just need to find the nut. And then as per our procedure, we'll add some penetrant. Sorry guys, I have a slightly limited space in here. Is it going? Because I cannot see from my angle. How is it? Looks like we're good. It's the wrong size. Wrong size socket, but okay, it works. This probably should be 18, and I'm using 19. I do not have a deep 18 sockets, unfortunately. Don't even know how it happened that I don't have any. What do we have? That's it. Bushing installed, easy peasy. 2-minute break. As of right now, let's try to raise the trailing arm and kind of install it into its place. I'm not sure if it's gonna go easy or not. have enough light here, guys. You know what, let me prepare at least one of the bolts. Okay, one side kind of secured. Let's try to okay, we need to pick up some height. There you go. And now I guess it's gonna be slightly tricky to try to install this nut on the bolt. Maybe not, maybe it's gonna go very easy and smoothly, but remember, we cannot tighten I was able to reach the the nut with my finger right here from behind the liner, so it's fairly accessible. Again, we do not tighten them because the vehicle needs to be preloaded with its own weight before we tighten the bushing bolt, right? Not for the other side. Okay. The bolt is there in place. Let me see if I can. The bolt is not there yet, so hold on. Okay, now the bolt is there. The nut is so heavy, so I think it's gonna be possible to tighten this bolt with impact, because the weight of the nut will be playing in our favor. Let's release this. We don't need it right now. What we do need is to lower the subframe, or the trailing arm, I would say. A lot of people call it subframe as well, which is actually not in this case, but it looks like it. Okay. One side. Oh, that's failure. Oh, I didn't expect that. And that's a broken wire for the speed sensor. Ah, epic failure. Alright, but anyway. Anyway. That was an epic failure. in this situation we can actually install the springs without any compressor. Oh my god, that's an epic failure. Okay, first spring installed. Oh my god, that's an epic failure. Let's try to install the second spring. Crap! I'm so mad at myself. Arrgh. It's curious. Second epic failure. Spring from the other side. Alright, looks like the crisis is averted. We can now remove the compression thing. We can now put... Oh! Come on. One, and same thing on the other side. Oop. Oh, that's an epic failure. Oh my god. Can't believe we did all the hard parts and like installation. That's freaking unbelievable. Let's put everything back together. I'm gonna remove this cap from the brake line. and quickly, or not so quickly, start the threads. And meanwhile I'll find the position for this rubber hose, and everything is hammered. All right. All right. This is the passenger side. Let's swing a little bit to the left. And this is the bracket for the handbrake. Okay. Let me check if it's cross-threaded or not. Looks like it's fine. Not sure why I do it manually and not using any electric tools. Okay, and let's move over to the that's still gonna be neat to put later on once I'm talking about the freaking sensor I turn, actually wiring from the pigtail to the sensor. I'm gonna need to remove the connectors, the metal pins from inside the connector, and do the new connection. Same thing happened to the driver's side. And while we are here, actually, let's tighten this knot. Was it 19? Yes, it was. The battery is charged. All right, this one is done. This one gonna be later on. Brake line is done. This is done. Yeah, so passenger side is ready. Let's move over to the driver's side. What we're gonna do on the driver's side? We're gonna prepare this hose. Okay, let's remove the cap. Prepare this hose, start the threads. Only be extra careful not to cross thread. Let's see what the problem is. It doesn't spin really well on the rusted line. lock this line. It's too tight for the fingers, but it's fine for the range. All right, let's move to the brake, hand brake, or in case of Sienna, foot brake, emergency foot brake thing. Now let's tighten this. All right. We're pretty much done, with the exception of those things and the exhaust. Okay, let's put the exhaust back in place now. Okay, this one is slightly installed, so now let's do the front part. Shouldn't be too hard. Slides in. This one slides, kind of slides in. I think I would like to add some penetrating oil. All right, installed. Yeah, this WD-40 helps tremendously for those rubbers installation. Installed. 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 All right, exhaust is installed. Couple days later, the crisis with the wiring that I broke was averted. I reused the same connectors. I just cut the wires probably half an inch, shorter, but there is still more than enough, lengths in the wire, so it should be all good. I bled the brakes on both sides, so wiring is fixed here. So the last two things that left, I'm gonna lower the car. I'm not sure, in the garage or maybe outside. I'm gonna lower the car and then I'm gonna tighten those bolts, right, when the suspension gonna be under the load of the car, and that's gonna be the wrap for this particular repair. I decided to do the final torque inside the garage, and in order to get some additional height I used the ramps in the back for the rear wheels, and to keep the balance of the vehicle on the lift I used some old brake rotors to keep it more or less level with the rear of the car. So that's that. I'm gonna use the impact. Hopefully the weight of the nuts, because they are so big, will play into, you know, my benefit, and it's gonna allow me to torque this bushing bolt entirely. And then we're gonna raise the car again to put these braces that keeps the, you know, thing more rigid. Okay, I think that should do the trick, hopefully. Alright, now it's definitely tight. Let me switch the gears with a little bit more ooga-doogas, aga-dagas, whatever you wanna call it. I think I do not need the wrench anymore. Alright, perfect. Now let's transfer to the other side. Alright, this is the driver's side. Let's see if we can do the trick without the wrench. Yep. Perfect. It's tight. Now I'm gonna return the arm of Now let's return the arm back to its spot and do the same thing on the other side and raise the car. Let me recheck the torque with the ratchet. Up. Good. Good. All right, 2 braces and we are done. All right, how was it? So there is the little thingy thing, goes into the hole right here. 1 bolt goes here, 2nd bolt goes here. A little bit of impact. You definitely always would like to start it with your fingers to avoid the cross-threading. Alright, first is done. Let's do the second one. Double action. Okay. Ooh, flashlight. 1. So this is how you replace the bushings for the rear trailing arm, and if you're more careful than me, then there is a very good chance that you won't break the car like I did, but luckily it was an easy fix, for me at least, and probably could take a couple hours of labor. if everything goes smoothly. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos.